What's up, good people? My name is Kashaya, and I wanted to come and talk to you all tonight about trauma. Yep. I wanted to come and talk about trauma because, and you will have to excuse the fan that you hear blowing in the background because right now it is keeping my charger. Um, it is giving my computer juice, so y'all gonna have to be okay with the noise. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't have a mic, but hopefully I am projecting my voice enough and you can hear me. If not, I don't know what we're gonna do. But anywho, I want to come and talk about trauma, and I think it's a very, very important topic. Um, and I want to share just some of the things that I have learned to help other people. So for me, when it comes to trauma or traumatic things, right? Um, and I'm not a licensed anything when it comes to psychiatry, psychology, any of those things. I'm not a counselor or anything like that, but I can help you, especially if I feel like it's something that um, you would benefit from. So, for me, when it comes to things that I guess are, let's just do the rape, right? That's a traumatic thing. Rape is a traumatic thing. And if YouTube flags this, I guess I'll just extract the audio and put it on my podcast on my website. But rape is typically a traumatic thing, right? And some people are not able to get over it because of the fact that it's traumatic. Like it does something to your body, your spirit, your mind when you um hold on to it. And I know that sounds strange, but that is the only way I kind of know how to say it. Um a lot of the things that I have been through do not impact me in the way that a lot of people would love for them to. And the reason I say that is because so many people look at my life and they feel like all of the things that I have been through are just traumatic for me. And although all of the things I have been through have definitely impacted my life, um, in in huge ways, considering the circumstances, right? Everybody has the ability to see every aspect of my life all throughout the day, and I have no control over it. And people love to say when I talk about things, I'm complaining. No, I'm talking about things. And even if I am complaining, being that I hardly talk in the first place, okay, and let me complain. I get it out. I don't hold it in, and then that's it. It's done. But when it comes to traumatic things, I have been watching this show on YouTube. And I call it a show because that's how it has been coming across to me. It has been a show that has gone viral, I'm sure, due to me watching it in part. and just the drama of the situation, right? It's a lot of drama, but there's also a lot of trauma that is still deeply rooted in one of the individuals in the show, right? And they were actually the person who inspired this conversation, because it is evident in listening to the individual just how much they have not allowed themselves to fully heal, accept what was and what happened. Understand that regardless of whatever part they may have played, whatever part other individuals have played, that the situation took place and you cannot change it. You can't go backwards and redo anything. You can't go backwards and tweak anything. It has happened. You have to fully accept that it has happened, regardless of how much that it hurts. And I'm not saying rush through your healing process. I am saying that when dealing with trauma, part of healing is accepting the fact that it happened and you can't change it. And I know that's hard, or it may be hurtful or triggering to hear, but it happened. Whether people want to argue with you about you deserving it or not, it's neither here or there, right? It doesn't matter. It happened. You can't change it. You have to accept that it happened and let it go. Not necessarily let it go to where you don't process what took place and heal, but let it go to where that is not the substance of your entire being. And what I mean by that is that you are not holding on to it so much that it is your identity. And it being your identity, you are then allowing it to overflow in your other relationships. And so when you accept whatever the trauma was, right? When you accept that it took place, when you accept that you can't change it, when you accept that no, you didn't deserve it, when you accept that the individual who may have caused you the trauma is just truly not right in their head, right? And that's male or female. If a male is causing you trauma or a female is causing you trauma, we have to sadly accept that there is definitely something wrong with the individual who had a hand in the trauma, right? But eventually, we also have to let go of the hand that caused the trauma. And what I mean by that is, regardless of regardless of what the trauma was, part of the healing is in acceptance that you can't change it. And again, I am not a licensed psychiatrist. I am not a psychologist. I am not a licensed counselor. I have worked with individuals that have been traumatized from sexual assault or domestic violence. Yes, I have. However, and I had to take all of those courses that we had to take quarterly, monthly, whatever, when I worked that job for 3 years, right? But part of healing is accepting the situation. And there are so many people who are not able to fully heal because they don't want to accept their part in it, even if they had no part, even if they didn't um uh woo, even if they did not do anything that was deserving of the situation, right? Sometimes we are just genuinely around unhealed people, and they then, excuse me, end up impacting other people and causing them pain that also now makes them unhealed, that also causes them some form of trauma. For me, in the situation that I'm in, as far as being cyber stalked and stuff, I can't control that. I did my part. I reported it to the CIA on their cyber stalking thing. I have accepted that, yes, I was raped twice within a year. I have accepted that there was a demon whose hand was definitely all in the mix, or or a few demons actually that was in the mix of it. But I cannot go back and redo any of the interactions that I had with these people. I cannot go back and do anything pertaining to any of those things. I had to accept that, yes, those things happened to me, whether I deserve them or not. I'm not debating anybody concerning that, because no one deserves to be raped. Like, nobody. Um, I'm not, that's not for you to argue with someone, right? Whether or not you deserved it um is not going to change the fact that it happened. But what does help with your healing is accepting that you can't change it. And the reason I'm sharing this is because in order for you to grow and get past whatever the trauma was, whether it's a bad relationship with your mom, a bad relationship with your dad, whether it's you being the drama, like, you have to accept everything. The other person's faults, your faults. You have to accept that, yes, I have been holding on to this for years, and it has not helped me grow and heal. A lot of people feel like just because they are productive, they are healed. Just because you are able to make money, because you are able to still whatever, that, okay, I'm healed. I've released the situation. I've grown, right? I've learned something. But see, when you have peace, when you have really healed, you are not intentionally going out of your way to just do things that make absolutely no sense just because someone ticked you off. Let's be clear that you're not going to do that. One, because why would you do that? Now I can see if someone is, constantly coming at you, and you have done your best to be the bigger person, because arguing is just too much energy that's unnecessary sometimes. Often, actually. A lot of times, actually. Like, you will be stuck in repeating your trauma over and over and over and over and over again until it literally becomes your identity. And you will end up ruining good things. And some people learn this early in life. Some people learn this later in life. But regardless of when you learn it, when you accept it, you'll begin to heal, and you will be able to also free yourself from the bondage that trauma or that situation has had on you. How can you be your best version still holding on to one of the worst things that could have taken place in your life? You can't be better holding on to something that was bad. Some of y'all go out of your way trying to make people miserable. And what you have not accepted is you have absolutely no control over that. Just like you had absolutely no control over whatever situation took place that caused you pain, hurt, trauma. You can't go back and change anything concerning that. You can change yourself. You can be a better person. You can be a more loving person. You can heal. So then, as you heal, your kids and your family also heals, because with your healing, you help those who you have care for. Sometimes even those that are not in your care. You know, sometimes you can be healed to help someone else. And that someone else could even be someone who is intentionally trying to get under your skin. And sometimes people only do that because maybe they envy something that they wouldn't have to if they did the work within themselves. You have to learn to let go. You have to accept, and you have to learn to let go. With my dad, right? Because so many people love to bring up their fathers or their mother taught me this, and I think they use it because they feel like, oh, it's a trigger for me. But people do not realize that I accepted already, one, who my dad was in my life. Two, that I cannot go back and change anything concerning my relationship with my dad. I can't change anything concerning that. My dad isn't here, right? I can't change anything. But it would not make sense. It would not make any sense. Any sense. Rub your temple, help you relax, help you woosah when you get stressed out from, sipping your wine and you're telling the truth while you're drunk. I don't know what your thing is. I don't know what you do when you get mad, when you get drunk. I don't know. But some people, we have seen little clips online, right? We've seen little clips online. And this is my sharing with you of how I have dealt with things that people would deem traumatic. I'm sharing this with you because I think you would benefit from it. When I accepted the things in my past that I could not change, when I accepted that the hands that took part in trying to make me out to be something that I'm not, that tried to, just literally kill my spirit. And people still go out of their way trying to do so, which they need to heal. You need to heal. You need to let go. You need to accept that this hurt. It didn't feel good. Maybe you genuinely dislike the person. Okay, cool. We're not called to like people. We called to love them. Maybe you can't love them right now. And that's very understandable. Definitely depending on whatever took place in your heart or in your life. However it impacted your heart, your mind, your spirit. It takes time to heal, especially depending on the intensity of whatever the situation was. But holding on to it and wearing it and waving it around like a flag and, you weren't this and you weren't that, and now you want to hurt people just because you hurt. How are you going to grow? How are you going to learn? Because you're going to be on the defensive all the time. So when you go and you talk to people, you're not even going to be able to hear what they're saying, hear what they're asking you, because you're sitting in a defensive stance the whole time. Now, that one is sometimes difficult to get past, right? Especially if you have been attacked for an extended period of time. I'm not talking about for like a week or two, but depending on the capacity of your spirit, I can understand a week or two being a long time, and now you feel like, oh, you're a victim. And the length of time does not necessarily mean you are or are not a victim. What I am saying is holding on to the fact that you are being victimized or that you were victimized by a situation does not help you heal at all. It doesn't help you heal. I'm not saying that your situation is not something to continue to take note of, especially if you're still in the midst of it, right? Everybody is not able to quickly get out of traumatic situations or bad situations. Everybody is not able to do that. But for those of you who have complete control over yourself, you can do the work of acceptance and release, because that's what it's going to take for you to heal. I'm not saying don't go to therapy. I'm not saying don't cry if you need to cry. I'm not saying don't talk about it if you feel like you need to talk about it. I'm saying at some point you're going to have to accept that yes, this happened. No, I didn't deserve it. No, it didn't feel good. Yes, it hurt a part of me that I didn't expect it to touch, but it did. And accept that you can't change it. You can't change it. And I'm not saying this with the lack of empathy. I'm just sharing with you what's going to help you, or at least I'm sharing with you what helped me. I can't change anything that these people do. I can't change the fact that people get online and they think mocking me. And by the way, ladies, hold on. If you need a good moisturizer for your lips, it's actually Vaseline. I don't like Carmex. I don't. But anyway, yeah. You have to accept that maybe you had crappy parents. Okay, you're an adult now. Your parents can only love you from a place that they understand what love is. I've said that in one of my earlier videos when I was crying, talking about my dad, and, just sharing things concerning, not dying twice. Somebody's husband was online talking about you don't die twice, but, that's whatever. But, you have to accept whatever it was, right? You have to accept that maybe your mom could only love you how she loved you in your youth, because maybe that's what she experienced. Maybe she went through some things that she also had no control over in her youth. So she only knows how to love you from the healed space that she allowed herself to get to. You have to accept that in order to actually heal and then not repeat the cycle with the kids you got. The kids you don't have yet. The kids you may not even want. But for you, if you want a spouse, if you want healthy relationship, right? Because people love to say, there's no examples of healthy relationships. There are examples of healthy relationships. The thing is, they're just typically not online. They're typically not online. So many people, especially content creators, right? Because I'm talking about content creators right now that I've seen on their show on YouTube. It's been a show this past week, and I think some of us get so caught up in the attention or validation that we get from man, and we get so excited about, oh, I got all these followers, I did this, I did that. But see, the problem with that, right, is that we are supposed to be, for those of us who are Christians anyway, we are supposed to be directing people to follow Christ, right? We are, now, depending on who you are, this might be a tangent from what I was talking about. Depending on who you are and depending on your beliefs, right? As followers of Christ, we are supposed to be encouraging people to follow Christ, not follow us, right? Not follow us, because we are flawed human beings. Human beings. We are flawed human. Lord, what's going on my nose? We are flawed human beings. Okay. So there are going to be days and times that some of us respond in manners that are not godly. We're going to be arguing and debating, even though the word tells us not to do that. So all I'm saying is, right, in order for you to heal, so you can actually maybe be an example of a healthy relationship, you have to accept that you can't change the past. You can't change it. It doesn't matter how much you hold on to the trauma. It does not matter how much you tell yourself you didn't deserve it. And I hope that does not come off harsh to you. I'm genuinely not stating it in a harsh manner. I'm just telling you what I had to go through to push through the constant critiques every day. Every day that I get. Every day. Do you know probably how jacked up I would be if I had not accepted that I cannot change anything in my past? I probably really would be out here like y'all want me to be, as far as like emotionally and mentally. And I can't have that. I'm sorry. I don't care who you is. Like, I cannot change. I can't change anything. You can't change anything. It happened. I'm not saying it was right. But it happened, right? It happened. Past tense. It happened. And the sooner that you accept that it happened and that you can't change it, but you have to fully move forward, I'm telling you, it'll help so much. So much. Some of us, we are struggling right now with the things that happened in our past because we don't want to accept that we can't change it. We want to be able to dominate the trauma, but the way that you're going about it is adding to the trauma. And sadly, for those of you who have not yet gotten to the place where you can accept it, you are now traumatizing those that you are in stewardship of, right? In stewardship of, right? So if you are a mother or a father and you have not allowed yourself to accept that this situation happened, to accept that the situation does not define you, to accept that you can't change the situation, but that you can change, you can choose, you can decide to go forward, then you can be better. You can heal. Acceptance is a beautiful gift. One that you can give yourself and one that you can give other people. You can accept people as they are. You can accept the fact that who someone is not for you. You can accept that you can't change anything or anyone but yourself. You can accept that, okay, I might have wanted this thing, but it's not available right now. I have to wait, and I'm okay with waiting. You can accept whatever. Acceptance is a gift for yourself and something you can give to other people. I would practice it on yourself first, though. If you have shown other people acceptance, then okay, cool. Now you should have an image in your head what acceptance looks like, right? You know what acceptance looks like. You know how it makes someone else feel when you accept them as they are, for who they are, where they are, right? You know how that impacts the other person, right? So when you choose to practice it on yourself, you'll have an idea of how you felt when you apply it to yourself. You shouldn't be beating yourself up repeatedly, year after year after year after year, for something that you cannot change. And then the fact that some of you weaponize your trauma is deeply disturbing. You weaponize your trauma. What I mean by that, right, is you feel like because you are carrying around the baggage of a situation that you cannot change, of something that, yes, it hurts, and you can't get that time back, you can't get whatever it was, right? You cannot get it back. But you have weaponized it in such a way that because you went through XYZ, you now want to put someone else through XYZ. Or it's, woe is me, right? And what I mean by that is you take your unhealed self and you attack other people. That's what I mean by weaponizing trauma. I'm not saying that people should not be sensitive or aware to whatever it is that you went through. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that because you have not allowed yourself to heal, or you have not freed yourself from the bondage or whatever the situation was, that you now feel like because of that situation, and because deep down I'm still very hurt, I'm unhealed, that you now want to intentionally cause pain in someone else's life. You're weaponizing your trauma. Oh, someone hurt me, so now I have to go hurt someone else. For what? For what? When you weaponize your trauma, especially if you truly, genuinely have a good thing, you bring your whole house down. Your whole house comes down. And the crazy part is, You are the missile who destroyed it. So now, not only do you have to accept that whatever the trauma was prior to you ruining your good thing, you now have to also go back through that whole acceptance process of you were the reason you screwed up a good thing. Now, that's a different type of process. Same steps, but the pain probably hits a little bit differently because this time it's not someone else causing the injury. It's you having to accept that you were the one who did the damage. It's easy for us to sit in our trauma and realize, oh, well, this person did that to me and this person did that to me. Okay, you can't change it. Why hold on to it? Release it. It's not yours to carry. It's for God to carry. And if you do not believe in Jesus Christ and you have something that you're carrying that's traumatic, this is the perfect time to cry out to him and say, God, I'm struggling with acceptance of this. I'm struggling with how to let this go. This thing has warped and wrapped me and I'm struggling. God, I need help. If you're real, help me, comfort me, hold me, grab me, take this away from me, Lord. It's too heavy. Call out to him. He'll help you carry that thing you shouldn't be carrying in the first place. But see, some of us are so worried about who's looking at us, who's following us. We ain't talk to God about our problem. We haven't even given the person that did the trauma to God. And when I say giving that person who caused you the trauma to God, put them on the altar. If you think you got hands, and this is for all my fighters out there, physical fighters. If you think you got hands, right? Put that person's name on the altar. Have you seen God hands? We talking about a being that holds the whole world in his hands. Have you seen his hands? And you steady holding on to this thing that you could have been gave to God. You could have been gave this small thing to a giant. And you holding on to it, playing dominoes instead of chess. Tasha K, that was actually a brilliant analogy, okay? Claps to you on that chess. That was, I like that. Anyway, right? You could be strategic with your trauma, with your pain, with your acceptance. And the strategy is simple. It's not yours to hold. And the longer you hold on to it, the longer you allow yourself to sit and fester in it, right? You can be as beautiful as you want to. But one thing that Tasha said in an interview concerning this show that I've been watching for the past few days is that you can be as pretty as you want to, but your attitude makes you ugly. And she gave it to you straight. She gave it to you straight. You can be as pretty as you want to, But your spirit and your attitude make you an ugly individual. It don't care. It does not matter how nicely you dress. Nothing. You could be perfect in your eyes and other people's eyes, but your attitude and how you treat people make you an ugly individual. It's simple. We put so much emphasis on our outer appearance, and we don't do no work on the inside. So everybody is outside walking around looking nice, smelling nice, dressing nice. You socializing, the life of the party, you got all the friends, all the finances, all of these things, right? But you empty on the inside. So you carrying all of this stuff on the outside that is supposed to show the world, oh, I've made it, I'm successful. But how you treat people, how you come at people, how you attack people, baby, you still ugly. You still missing something. And the problem is, because you are holding on so tightly to the trauma, you don't have space in your hands to carry love, to carry grace, to carry acceptance, to carry patience, to give out joy, to be joyous. You don't have space because you are holding on to something that you cannot change. Trauma is a killer. It will kill a good thing, and it will kill your spirit if you allow it to sit and keep bondage on you. See, people do stuff intentionally because they think it will put someone else in bondage. And whether they realize it or not, which most people are typically intentional about trying to hurt someone else's feelings. See, me, if y'all got any questions concerning, how not suckers to make you feel like a sucker, because sometimes that's how I be looking at people. Like, you have to be a sucker if you think that you have some type of power over how I see myself. And some of you need to adopt that mindset, right? You give too much of your power away. Way too much of it away. You sit here going back and forth arguing with a person for what? If you done already marked this person as they are not good for you, they are not good for whatever cause you got going on, what you look like going back and forth with the person? What do you look like? Why would you even exert that much energy? I remember the other day, I woke up randomly early in the AM, right? I'm just sitting there because just so much stuff took place, and I was just grateful that, I accomplished what I needed to accomplish when I woke up like that, all late, early in the morning, late. It was like 1 a.m. But the crazy thing, I sat there and I was just thinking about something. And you know what downloaded in my spirit? A whole diss track. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. When I sat there and actually listen to what came to me and actually thought about, one, Why am I even giving this thing energy? Like, I don't value this person's opinion. I don't know this person from nothing, right? I that Why would I give them this much energy? And then two, the things that I could have said, that would have been me killing somebody's spirit who is clearly already tormented if they feel like they gotta come at a female as a male. You supposed to be the stronger vessel, supposedly. Like, why exert all of that energy? It don't be necessary. Sometimes, especially when it's people you love who tick you off, you just need to take a step away. But when it's a stranger trying to do their worst, trying to get you mad, what? Who about to go back and forth? I'm not going back and forth on no diss track. At the end of the day, say what you need to say. Feel how you need to say. Feel how you need to feel. Feel how you need to say. Feel how you need to feel. Get it off your chest if that's what you need to do. And I hope, your spouse go ahead and pat you on the back and say, good job, baby. I hope you feel better. Because, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not. I'm just not going to do it. This has been happening to me all day. Like, earlier today, it was so funny because, really not even earlier today. This was probably maybe like a hour ago. So I'm almost been on this thing for hours. So it's almost been like an hour ago. This random girl literally came up, parked directly beside my car, looked in it. I looked at her. She pulled back and then drive off somewhere else and then go. Now, mind you, this was like an empty space that I was in, so there were plenty other parking spaces. But she just so happened to come, and it's always a Cajun person. So, something, Lord Father, it's like 85% Cajun person. Nope, 80% Cajun person. It'd be like 20% skin folk. But people just do weird stuff. It don't make sense to me. Okay? And I know that was a tangent, but it was because I was telling y'all about the whole diss track thing. That energy ain't worth it. Especially when you good in the you is. Like, it's unnecessary. So accept whatever happened. You can't change it. It's done. It's over with. It hurt. It doesn't feel good. I know. Again, I am saying all of this. Not being harsh. Not being considerate of whatever thing you have endured, right? There are definitely different levels of trauma. So I'm not minimizing anything that you have gone through that has been traumatic. What I'm saying is, for me, what helped me heal, and hopefully what'll help you heal, especially if you deeply need it, is you have to accept that you cannot change anything that happened to you. You cannot change it. And I know we sometimes wish that we could. Trust me, there are things I wish I could change, like being cyberstalked. And I don't care who tells me, oh, you're complaining. Y'all only feel like I'm complaining because you just feel like I'm living this life high up in the sky, and that's why y'all say that. That's why y'all say that. That's why y'all say that. hmm Me talking about my experience in life, regardless if you want to hear it or regardless if you feel like it's me complaining, I have the right to talk about my experience. So you telling someone else, regardless of what they're talking about, I don't care if it's cleaning their house routine, brushing their teeth, folding their clothes, their laundry. I don't care what they're talking about. If they are bringing up something, whether if they bring it up consistently, okay, that's a little bit different, right? But even still, if they're bringing it up consistently, that should show you that it's something that they really need help with, right? And when I say consistently, I'm not talking every blue moon, because we already know people love to blow up stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. But for all of you who have gone through something traumatic, part of the healing process that worked for me, excuse me, is acceptance. And there's an acronym, I think it's DAPDA, something like that. I don't remember all of the letters, but I know anger is one of them. I'm hoping one of those A's is acceptance. But even if it's not, DAPDA is an acronym for people that are just have went through different things, right? Y'all, acceptance is a big key. It's a big factor, right? Acceptance is a huge factor. And when you allow yourself to accept whatever the situation may be, sorry, y'all, I had to put this thing up because, again, for me in my situation, I have these people popping up now, like, where's Waldo? Like, I'm Waldo, so that's neither here or there. All I'm saying is acceptance on the fact that you can't change the situation, right? Accepting that it happened and it does not define you. Accepting that you can only now go forward from this situation. All of those things are a factor that will help you heal. So, hopefully, this will help you. Anybody that is going through something tough, and yeah, trauma, you got to release it. You got to let it go so it doesn't ruin a good thing. And the good thing is you. Because when you're not healed, you not only hurt yourself, you hurt others that love you. And sometimes you can't fix it. Can't fix it. So I pray that for whoever is going through traumatic things, right, that you find it within yourself to accept the situation, to accept that it doesn't define you, and accept that you can move forward from it. that you are worthy of releasing it and not carrying it around with you. Give yourself that gift. Don't go around trying to intentionally hurt people. And for those of you who find yourselves swatting off arrows from others trying to hurt you, they only have the power to hurt you when you give it to them. So don't give it to them. Know who you are and stand 10 toes on it. They don't got no power over you. But you have all the power over yourself. So accept the situation. Allow yourself to heal and go through that process. And accept that the situation doesn't define you and it's not yours to carry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you haven't played chess, you should learn how to play. It's a great game. It's a strategy game. It's a mind game. You always got to be a couple steps ahead. Because how else you going to protect the king? Love you later.